So we're going to move on to topic 2 now. So, JC, what is your topic today?
Actually, Brett,
Hey, that's me.
Brethaniel.
That's been a while.
You could not have actually given me a better segue here.
Woo!
So it's no secret that we are approaching our 30s.
Yep.
Uh, as a content creator,
Mhm.
and you've been doing it longer than me. You have a much bigger audience than me. So let's say I put out an album
Yeah.
and I put out a video for a song. I'll maybe get like 30 views,
Mhm.
right? Why do I do this? Because I have this problem a lot. It's more of like it's kind of like an existential thing as I'm getting older. Um, I understand why I finished the music.
Yeah.
That's a personal thing. I would love people to hear it, but obviously they don't. That's fine. But I finished this. So with music videos, some of these videos, I'm taking a full day. I'm getting the gear. I'm not paying people lengthily because I have good friends,
Mhm.
but I'm getting a location. I'm coming up with ideas. I'm putting a lot of effort into it. Post production, which you understand, just a mess. It takes forever.
Mhm.
And there are some times where I'm just sitting there thinking, why am I doing this? And I would like to talk to you about this as a content creator with a bigger audience than me.
Mm.
Uh, I just want to know what you think because it's just I know my reasonings. I fight with it from day to day. But I'm genuinely curious what you think as a content creator. And we're old as shit now, so
You keep saying 30 like it's the end of the line, like you're fucked
oh,
out.
that's it. We're done. Once we
Pack it
hit
up.
that, there's nothing else. 30's it.
Oh
That's
boy.
it. We're done.
So yeah, I like this topic a lot. This has been something I've personally struggled with a lot this past year. And there was a lot of pretty sure posts I've made. I'm like, oh, I'm frustrated about this. Oh, this isn't going well, whatever it is. I think the biggest thing that's helped me, at least this past year, has been my mental attitude towards it. And I'm not saying by any means necessarily like it's easy to do. It's definitely not. But I think that's been something that I've tried to focus on. So, for example, I'm a big fan of Kind of Funny. They're a big YouTube group and Twitch group. They do gaming news, etc., etc. I've gone to live events of theirs. I've collabed with other Kind of Funny community members, doing podcasts, doing videos, etc. A big fan of those guys. That is one of the dreams, like, to go work there. So I'm seeing that, and obviously the community has a bunch of people who are this like same mentality. I want to make a podcast. I want to stream. I want to do this. Blah blah blah, and they're doing it. Seeing them and their successes or their failures just kind of messed with me a little bit. Like, especially the ones that are, doing well. Why is this person getting more views than me? Why is this person a partner on Twitch? Why is this person collabing with Kind of Funny and I'm not? I'm over here doing nothing. So a lot of those negative thoughts were like, you can't do this. They're better, blah, blah, blah. After a while, I realized I had to stop comparing, first off, in that light. Comparing can be good, of being like, so and so does this really well. They're a really good talker, or they present their shit really well. That's good. Taking the positives that they put out there and applying it to yourself, or being like, hey, I want to strive to do that. Also, the negatives too. Maybe they're not the best at commentating while they're playing a game. Maybe they're not the best at organizing, whatever it is. Realizing these strengths and weaknesses and then applying them in a positive direction toward yourself. Not doing what I was doing and doing the negative, like, oh, this, that, the other thing. So it's been a big mentality thing there. And then also not being jealous or petty of their successes. Like, there's some friends that, I've had on the podcast and have talked to at the live events and, had a good relationship with them. And I'm looking at where they are now and I'm like, you started after me. Like, what? And you're up there. And I'm like, So I would say that's one big factor, is just the mental attitude of like, do this for you. This podcast, for example, I haven't really put on podcast services out there. So I haven't like extended those branches yet. Viewership, hit or miss. Some topics hit really well. Some it's like, well, there was a handful. The big thing with this podcast specifically was like, how do I get better at talking? You've known me for years. This was never
many years.
Yeah, this was never my thing. I was never the most social butterfly, nor will I say I am now, but I feel better than I was. So that was a big thing, is like, how do I improve? This podcast is going to help. I'm going to help by talking myself about things, having guests on, talking with them, whether I know them really well or this is the first time I'm ever talking to them. So I guess that would be the second thing, is like, do it for you. What are you going to gain out of this personally? And once again, it's not easy to say that and then not see the numbers. But I think if you focus on that and then your positivity, your output, that's going to attract more people eventually to your product than, man, I'm sitting here and I need so many subs to pay my rent or this and that and the other thing. Like, if you're just money, or just growth or whatever, like, nobody feels valued. Nobody sees that genuine part of you. They just see like, oh, well, this is another person just trying to get to the next step, I guess. That was a long-winded answer, but that's part of it.
I love that. I think mental attitude, especially when it comes to creative endeavors, is so important. It's crazy. I know for me, so like my job right now, I work for the government. It's in a film capacity.
Okay.
Just say that. And it was actually, this was a huge mistake for me to take this job, because I'm taking what I love and I'm doing things that I hate with it.
Gotcha.
So it's like really like, ugh.
Right.
So if I'm not, and this is the argument I have with myself all the time, is if I'm not making these videos for fun, I'm only doing what I love for things that I hate.
Right.
And like that just if there's anything that kills like creativity in your brain, it's that.
Yeah.
It's like almost like abuse of the things that you love, and it's just like bleh.
Right.
So I have to make these videos for that reason, but I still have the conversations with myself like, why am I doing this? You know, it's for me, and it's okay. I think it's okay to be that way. It sounds selfish when you say it out loud, but it's like, I am doing this for me. If people see it, cool. If not, that's also cool. It just has to happen.
Yeah.
And that's like, I'll probably be well in my 40s making bullshit videos. Maybe I'll finally make, the Jake the Duck video at 45, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's tough. It's a hurdle that I have to overcome, where I'm just like, why am I still doing this? And I'll have good days and bad days. Like, I'll have days where I don't even want to think about it, and that's fine. And then the next day I'll be like, okay, let's pick this back up. Let's make some progress. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally, I mean, what you're saying makes a ton of sense, man. I really do. I get it.
Nice. Yeah.
Being creative sucks.
It can. Yeah. I definitely agree with you. Like, with you mentioning your current job, like using the things you like, and that negative aspect. I had that with, excuse me, when I was working at the Taekwondo school. I was working there during the days, and I was in charge of video stuff. And, granted, my skill level's, like, not as great compared to others, but, like, that was what I was hired for. You're going to do videos to put up to here, to do this, to show this. Great. The expectation of, like, do this really fast, like, weekly messages was always something I had to do. And I'm thinking in my head, I can make this so much more interesting to watch than just a slideshow. Yes. But the way that my work was delegated, we want you to make video stuff, but we also want you to call schools, call students, do this thing, go to this after school program. I'm like, those are all great things. Totally agree they need to be done. But I can't do everything here, and then you expect this to be good? Like, So, like, it ended up being kind of like a thrown together job of like, all right, Mondays I just got to nail these slideshows out. Then I got to sit here and render, and nobody understands what rendering is. So they're like, why aren't you doing anything? My computer's working. So there was that. And then, yeah, there was other ideas. Like, I know I could do really cool videos showing our forms so people could watch them. Do I get the time to do those? No. It's like, But yeah, also, like you said, taking that break. Sometimes that could be good. Just taking a step away from something and really seeing if you love it. I know it's kind of off topic, but like back to Taekwondo. That's been something I've realized, like, I miss it. And it's happened a bunch of times. When we moved to California, obviously didn't do Taekwondo out there because I didn't have the finances. So when I came back home,
Understood, yes.
right back into that. And even now, like, I haven't done it for a year with COVID going on and the new job. I was like, I was burnt out a year ago. I was like, I need something different. So then the job happened. But now I'm like, COVID's a whole thing. Like, can't do it now. Things are starting to open back up now and get back to normal. Everybody's vaccinated, things like that. Yippee yay. If I have the time, man, I'd love to do it. I miss teaching, but I don't know if I could do that kind of aspect of it. But at least I want to go in there and hit some shit. And try and, do some cool kicks again, maybe some flips and shit. Like, that I'm missing. So yeah, sometimes, what is it? The heart grows fonder when you're away or whatever the fuck. Like,
distance, man. Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
So
true facts.
It could be that just too. Like, if you get to that mindset of like, this is too much, step away. And like, that really shows if it's still important to you. If it's still important to you, it will wrap around. It will come back. So
yeah, I mean, it's dangerous too. So I'll get an assignment and they're like, you have to have this filmed, edited, and ready to go in a week.
Mm-hmm.
And, as a trained filmmaker, I'm sitting there like, that's fucking impossible. Mm-hmm. This is a ridiculous, this can't happen. But as an employee, I'm like, okay. So I start lowering my own standards. I know I can make a video that's this good, but you gave me a deadline so I can really realistically make a video that's this good. And I have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
But the problem is once you start becoming okay with this across the board, it's like you've lost all this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is good shit.
Right.
And you're down here. And that's why you gotta separate the two. So yeah, I'm gonna for work do this. And it's not because I'm lazy, it's not because I'm trying to do a shitty thing. It's just this is what I can do with what you've given me.
Right.
But I have to know that I can still do this. And I have to still, outside of work, do this.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, this is going to go away. And then this is going to become that. And it's just like, bleh.
Yeah. Yeah. I 100% agree.
Tough. And it really is. I think I really need a job that doesn't at all relate to anything I'm interested in. If that makes sense at all. I mean, because I'm a hard worker. If I have a job and an assignment, I'm going to do it. I don't care if I like it. I don't care if I hate it. I don't care how hard it is. I'm going to do it. That's just how I was raised. It's how I'm going to do things. So I really think I need a job that isn't related to anything I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. And
yeah.
I know that sounds
No, I totally get that. I mean, that was kind of what the current job is now with the microchips. I'm like, I don't know. Friend said this was available, so sure. I wanted something different. Never thought in a million years I'd be doing this. And then, I don't know, the motivation for like, I want to keep up a stream. I want to keep up a podcast. Because if I'm not doing that, it's like, well, I don't care about the chips. Like, what am I working towards? Like, that's just there.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right there. End the podcast. We're done. That's the title right there. What am I working towards? No, seriously. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That is why I do anything creative. Because if I don't, what am I doing?
Right.
I'm waking up. I'm going to work. I'm paying bills. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What am I working towards? What am I doing?
Exactly.
That's it. Seriously, you nailed it.
Yeah.
So I have days where it feels weird. Like, why am I, as a full ass grown adult, still doing this shit? But I need to feel like I'm working towards something.
Yeah.
And my job does not do it.
Mm-hmm.
My job is a mess. I hate it. But hell yeah, man. That's it.
Yeah. Cool.
You're the best therapist I've ever had.
Hey. I'll bill you later for the exorbitant amount of money.
Cool. You got Venmo? I think I got $2 in my account.
Okay, yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that was a great topic. I always love. Oh, yep.
No, I'll keep going. I got a quick little tangent after that.
Okay. I always love talking with people about their creative process and like the struggles there are, because obviously there's a lot, and like anybody can make stuff now, which I mean is great and sucks at the same time, because you're like, fuck. It's such a big world out there, or big market, I guess you could say. But yeah, pretty much summing it up, if you're doing it for you and you get something out of it, that's the best. Like, whether it's content, whether it's anything, gardening, painting, whatever the fuck it is, do something for you.
Absolutely. Seriously. Just do it.
Yeah.